really, really confident just based on some of the details that I get back and forth with Bill, and some of the things he's described that the factory has produced for a couple different companies.
Right.
There was one conversation in there where I think there was a specific product he mentioned they had pumped out for a line that I owned. And I went back and looked at that thing specifically and went, if our toys look, feel, and move like this thing on top of what we're already seeing from Horseman Studios, everybody's in really good hands. These guys are going to be really, really, really fun. And that's why those meetings are my favorite. Production is probably going to be, I sit with nostalgia talking to you guys about the sculpting process, which is always going to be the most fun. But
well,
I have
the sculpting process. That the guy that I had sculpting the Tide Realm Corsairs, his name is Victor. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It's either Sales or Sales.
Okay.
I don't know. But he's in Brazil, and he does amazing work. He's super fast. As you could see, he's super detailed and everything. So, yeah, he's a definite good resource for us to have.
It was fabulous seeing
Glad to have him in our stable.
Absolutely. We were so enthralled with when you came back, just with the feedback that, hey, the sculptor is personally really, really excited to work on this project. He's all over it. And we were like, well, that's kind of what we were hoping, because I know that, it depends on what product resonates with people. Even the folks that are working on it, they're going to be a bigger fan of some things than others. And so one of the things we were hoping was that we would get somebody that felt, a similar level of passion that we did to the characters that he might to the products. And the fact that we were able to get that marriage in there, and that's part of your guys' expertise of matching parties' projects.
There have been many times over the years that I've worked on various projects that I wasn't really that interested in, for Mattel or for Toy Biz or, any of the other companies, Super 7, any of the other companies.
Right.
I wasn't really into, but they had to be done, so I did the best that I could do. But I wasn't really into them. But Victor, when I told him that, we're possibly going to be doing this, he was like, oh my God, he was so excited. He was like, I love pirates and I can't wait to get started on this. He was super excited. The first images that you saw, he did really quick turnarounds on those first ones, just because he was really excited and into doing those figures.
He nailed them.
Yeah, he's a powerhouse. Like, Eric Treadaway is amazing. There's so much that he's doing right now that he just doesn't have time to work on other projects other than our own IP.
Right.
Because he does literally everything as far as sculpting goes for Mythic Legions, Cosmic Legions, Figura Obscura, Infinite Legions, everything. And I've always been impressed by him, but in the last few years, he's just gotten more amazing. I didn't know that was going to be possible.
Right. We'll take a look at that walrus.
Victor, a guy that we had to work on your project, he's like a young upstart Eric, where he's able to do multiple types of styles, and he's also super fast and super precise, super detailed, and he never ever complains when a customer comes back and says, maybe change this a bit, change that a bit, and like changes some things that we thought were finished, and they come back and go, maybe let's change this too. He never complains about it. He just goes, all right, let's do it.
Done deal, right? And that's something that it's especially awesome. if you're personally invested in the project, even if somebody comes back with, no, that's not quite right, let's just change the whole thing, that you can get your ego into that and get your feelings hurt and be like, no, I worked really, really hard on that one. And it's fun to be able to have such a, I always use the word intuitive, because at every level everything was highly complementary. And the fact that there wasn't always that long distance element of communicating what exactly you want, because I go back to Deathmoid, it was so hard to explain what we wanted with him.
Right.
And once everybody got on the same page, it was just kaboom, ready to go. I was curious, CB, because we're nearing close to the end here. What do you think, by the time we got done there, was your personal favorite sculpt? Once we were done taking a look at it and gotten all the details nailed in.
Oh, that's easy. I love the monsters. It was
Yeah,
Charybdis.
yeah,
I keeps trying to call it Charybdis because I have been all along, but Charybdis, he's my absolute favorite of the line. I mean, I like the other two as well,
right,
but that big scary monster is my favorite. I
right.
just love scary monsters.
Well, people respond to them really, really well. I think it's the villains that are really radicalizing and
Yeah,
confirming the wave, and Alistair as this kind of definitive heroic, as much as a pirate can be,
right.
sculpt as far as establishing what makes a Tide Realm pirate what it is. He's kind of that crown jewel to, oh, this isn't just monsters and pirate coats. This is a pirate line that's established with monsters
Yeah,
as the main theme. And that's something that we were really excited that for the what's the word? The isolated amount of choices that Wave 1 has, we were able to hit all three aesthetics that we wanted in each faction and each realm of character expression that gets everybody excited for a different reason. We have folks that are, oh my gosh, I'm all over the pirate. We have armies that are, oh my gosh, I'm all over the skeleton. And then we have all these other kind of outliers that come in, and all it takes is catching a glimpse of Charybdis's head sculpt, and there's somebody that might not have even been into action figures real quick, but they've been looking at Cthulhu for a while and go, oh,
yeah.
okay, you might have me on that one. Folks, I've heard all the time, they're like, I've been out of the collecting game for a long, long time, but
Yeah.
Charybdis is calling my name.
So Terrence and Gina have been helping you out quite a bit. What are their favorites? Have they said yet?
You know, Terrence is working just as hard as I am and has been ever since like about February.
Yeah, when he was at ZoloCon, he and Gina were all over that place really promoting your product. Like,
yeah,
I was expecting, people to go shopping and stuff, and he might have been doing a little bit of that, but he was constantly carrying around a pirate's chest and handing out flyers and stuff, really promoting the Tide Realm Corsairs.
He's on the front lines. He's doing a really, really, really good job of keeping visibility to people that either might not have seen it, haven't seen it yet. There's been lots of people that once it was in front of them for real, they're like, oh, I was interested before, but now that I've seen him in person, I'm all over. We had folks it was Toylanta a couple weeks ago that were trying to buy the prototypes where they stood. And it's like, sorry guys, not quite there yet, but come back in 4 weeks and we'll get you a copy. But
yeah,
the fact that we have such a strong backbone within the community of people like Terrence and Gina that have come up behind us and are holding up and waving a flag in certain areas that we're not able to meet physically is irreplaceable. And I'm not sure what Terrence's favorite one is. I'm going to guess that it's Deathmoid because he's a big Skeletor fan.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that would make sense.
Tide Realm has a flavor that's very, very, very much our own. It's establishing something that's unique to us, but it's been realized to the exact degree that we wanted by the only company we ever had the full confidence of doing. And we just could not ever be more and more grateful for your guys' involvement, your support, the fact that the platform we have to launch this thing has been encouraged and directed by you guys where you started. It's been wonderful. I get too emotional when I think about it because it's been not just fun, but extremely meaningful. This has not just been a business transaction for everybody.
Believe me, I know. Yeah. And like when we were starting out and trying to do things on our own, it was tough. And when I think back on it now, there's a lump in my throat just thinking about how, now we're trying to help people and help them get, their feet off the ground and do something that they're really passionate about. So I really can't wait until this Kickstarter starts and I get to sit back and watch it. It'll be cool.
Well, we just can't wait because there's so many people. George is really, really excited about something in particular. It's going to be a surprise for that pipeline. I know he wants to get that in hand. There's so many things that I can't wait to see your guys' faces once you have stuff to handle. It's the joy of seeing how everybody responds and how they express themselves with these guys, the amount of product photography that's going to come out and people doing things with them that I couldn't have even imagined. We have an audiobook that's going to be released while the Kickstarter is live for people to listen to a new segment every day, every other day while it's there. And so people have a taste of what makes that world what it is in our realm. But once it gets into their realm and they can express what they feel Tide Realm Corsairs functions in their world is something irreplaceable. And your guys' business model is what's informed how we make those decisions. It's something that the fact that you guys are true heralds of the toy community and want to keep it healthy and alive before anything else is what we admire. And it's something that we want to continue to shepherd ourselves. And the fact that we have the honor of sitting at that same table and having that same conversation in a world that's our own but is complementary to all the other things. We have these wonderful companies coming up right alongside us. We have Ash and Oath with Brian Burke, and then we have really cool ones that have happened in the past, like Legendary and Armies of Ashmore. There's so many testaments to what brings that vision to fruition when you have good people who have the best intentions for the industry possible. You just end up with a good product and an enjoyable project for everybody to be part of.
You know, I always say that getting into this stuff, it seems like it's a lot of money. Like it seems like it's a lot, like in the prototyping stage and then in the production stage, and it's just so much to have to deal with as far as just the money goes, not to mention everything else. But the thing is, when you get that first figure in your hand, any figure, like when you get that first figure in your hand, all that goes away, and you always say that was worth it. That was worth the time spent, the blood, sweat, and tears, and especially the money.
Yeah,
it was worth it.
Well, at the end of the day, that's all those that triad of investments when it's people's time, money, and talent. And when you have something that's basically this totem of all of that hard work and everybody's investment from the consumer to the creator, that's something that I don't think a lot of industries get to always enjoy. You have movie makers that, you know, it ends up being a product. There's some people that were either in a film, made a film, they don't even watch it at the end of it because it's part of the job, and there's so much work to make that happen and make it consumable that you just move to the next process. These are things that you get to hold for years and years and tell that story over and over and over, or in a completely different way. And it's something that you can pass down. There's a reason that objects are very special to me, because they resonate in a way that's lasting. They're a memory that stays forever.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I love toys so much.
Same. I'm just a big geek. That's why I like toys.
Just a big old bucket of nerds.
I quit collecting toys for about maybe 4 or 5 years in the later high school years, and just after, and then I was like, this is stupid. Why did I quit collecting them?
Right.
It was all about girls, you know.
Right.
But
that's pretty much what
happened.
After
that, it was like, why did I ever stop this? If a girl doesn't like what I'm doing, I don't want her.
Well, I had a similar conversation with myself through high school, because I think we all go through it. We have this little, what's the word? We have this little transition where we're like, is this validating or not validating my manhood? And especially when you find the right one and she loves it for you, and that's something that I get to enjoy on a daily basis. Tide Realm Corsairs would not be what it is without my partner, my wife. And that she did bat an eyelash when it came to my toy collection, but it's because she was batting eyelashes at me already. It didn't have anything to do with the toys. So that's something that's irreplaceable, and
it really
the fact
is.
that we get to share all
of
that.
And by the way, like face to face, I want you to go and thank her from us,
right,
for being as supportive as you of you as she is. That's an incredible thing.
Abigail's a miracle, and she's somebody that I thank dutifully every single day for all the hard work that she's put in, just on the level of, you know, there's a creative process where the origin of the creation, she's very, very heavy. And now that it's at the execution, a lot of that, you know, business transaction stuff is coming down to me. And I'll have a hard day. There's all kinds of things that I'm navigating almost by myself, but it isn't by myself, because I can leave the room and she's right there. She knows exactly what I'm going through. And there isn't a better cheerleader than that. And that's something that anybody going through this, I hope, has. And if they don't, I would recommend having before you start a toy company.
Yeah.
It's necessary. It's something that's
I agree. Is
Well,
Abigail into toys, action figures at all, or is she just going because she loves you?
I think it started that way, and it also helps that, you know, I've always called her the book girl because she loves story just on any level. And so she's already a storyteller by heart, and every single aspect where we get to bake in more of her creative expression into what makes Tide Realm what it is, the more and more invested she gets, and she's highly adaptive. So it's funny, over the last couple weeks, I'll hear things from her. She'll either have a question or a comment or something about whatever it is we're working on. And there are times where it's starting to sound like a toy collector. And I'm like, dear, that's not what you are. She's like, well, look what's happened. Look what you've turned me into. So it's really, really fun to see her unique freedom of expression and what makes her who she is, bringing that into this sphere. And she's highly complimentary to it. Is she jumping up and down when she goes through the toy aisle and sees the latest Master Universe stuff like me? No, but just as enthusiastic about what makes those objects valuable and how they came into fruition. She has just as much respect for how that goes from idea to reality, and that's also irreplaceable. That's an actual team member, not just a supporter.
That's great. That's great. You're lucky to have her.
She's just wonderful, and we're lucky to have you guys too. Like I said, there's nowhere else we would have gone. We're in great hands, and everybody who's looking forward to May 1st and when Tide Realm and the first part of it goes up for order, everybody's in great hands. And once everybody can just get at it, finally, after months of chomping at the bit like I am, I think we're going to see some really, really cool stuff.
Yeah, that's great. I can't wait.
I have taken up quite a bit of your time, as is CB, so I'm gonna let you go for today. I just can't thank you enough for all of the input, all of the support, all of the structural advice. Every single time we have a problem, you know, or big or small, we know who to turn to because there's somebody who's always been there, and that's what.
Speaking of which, I owe you a Wii transfer.
Oh, right. We got a whole other we got a whole bunch
of, right after this.
We got a whole bunch of emails that everybody's got to get to, but I want to thank everybody that came to watch this live, everybody that came to watch the replay. Chances are, by the time this goes up, it will either about to launch or it's probably about at launch. We are sitting right at 920 some odd followers on Kickstarter.
Which you're almost 1,000.
Right, which after having that landing page live for like 2.5 months is really special. You don't see that kind of movement unless you have something special. So we just want to thank everybody that's here, everybody who will be there, and most of all, thank CB because he's highly valuable. And whether he believes he's illustrious or not, we'll keep seeing his illustriousness put his hand to more toys ever after.
Thank you, Quaid. I really appreciate being here.
Yeah,
I cannot wait. Cannot wait for this Kickstarter.
We can't either. I mean, I could wait a little longer. I'd love like one more week of just let me breathe, but it's okay. I'll remember to breathe once we're done.
Every time we get ready to do a drop, I was like, oh, can we wait a little bit longer?
Right, just a little. There's no perfect time. The time is now, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, CB. We appreciate.
You're very welcome.
Immensely. I'm going to talk to you again soon.
All right. Take care, man.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.